Go. We are back in business. The business of spreading poisonous ideas in the space of internet. And today's question is why people do not fight for financial freedom. That's the only kind of freedom that works. Well, the financial freedom is the only freedom that works in a materialistic Western society. But why people don't fight for their financial freedom? And what that means is, well, it's about taxes. Well, good idea. Why all these people, these robots that go and submit to the corporation on so-called a payroll? Yeah, there is a big tax on their labor, and well, why all these, I would say, ignorant people do not start a revolution not to pay the taxes, such as the corporations does not pay the taxes? How come, you know, in a regular life? Yesterday I had an argument with a stupid person such as employee, and yeah, he was proudly, you know, when I confronted him on some life issues, he say, yeah, I pay my taxes, and that is the mental hack. That is a mental virus that the US government put in the heads of these shepherds. Not that they are so stupid that they are paying their taxes, you know, they are proud, you know. It's like it's just I'm sorry for the comment, but you have to be really stupid to voice this idea. Now, I come from a communist society that I know how the brainwashing works very well. If you're an American guy, you don't know what I'm talking about, but I know very well how the propaganda works, how the lies are spread, what kind of lies this communist people was spreading around the people to make them sheeples. And unfortunately, in America and in the modern world, I see this mental virus about the taxes. And that is all about the financial freedom of the people. Now, historically, well, people are not very well educated on history, especially in America, and that is very important for the government not to educate them on history or to give them this so-called fake history. Well, let's see how the taxes was working in the Roman Empire. In the Roman Empire, or even in the Great Ottoman Empire, people was paying some kind of tax, you know, and that was the tax was 1/10 of what they earn of their crops, and they was not slaves. They was feudal villagers, peasants, and the king's people, the so-called accountants. Like, there is an army of accountants now in the modern Western world, and this taxing is just an accounting. It's just keeping the record of who owns to who. It's an agreement of all the sheeples to pay to the rich. It's not the other way around. It's not fair. It's not that. Like, actually is unfair because the laws of any modern society are made by the rich people to protect their financial freedom and enrichment versus the stupid slaves that are on the bottom, and they go to submit to the corporations and pay their paychecks. The corporations pay the paychecks, but guess what? Before the person gets the paycheck, the government takes his cut. And now his cut goes to some enormous 20, 30, 40%, 30%, whatever, you know. Disaster. Well, in the Roman Empire, like total empire, that was at 10%. Now, my question is like, why there is no revolutionary movement amongst the Uber drivers, the Uber slaves, and they pay 30% to Uber, like a good idea of Uber to tell them, you're a CEO of your own company, you can do whatever you want, but just give me 30% because I'm gonna send you a customer. What type of idiot are you have to be to not use your own car and go on the streets and look for customers by yourself? Now, just this is an alternative reality. Imagine what would happen tomorrow if all the Uber drivers in the world say, you know what, I don't need Uber to point me where are the customers. I will just go on the streets and I'm gonna just put a sign, cab, and I will get my own customers. Well, that's a totally radical idea for the Uber driver, because he's such a stupid person that he doesn't know what is he doing, but actually he's doing all the labor and just pay 30% to the Uber. That is called a tax, a corporate tax for them getting to the customer. On the other side is the stupid customer, you know, like the person that lives in the big city and he wants the convenience, and he's afraid by he's being poisoned by the media that, you know, the general idea is about safety, you know, safety. Actually, the Uber corporation is the one that has zero safety requirements, but now they are forced by the big other big mafia, the mafia of the city, to provide this safety, you know. And the basic idea of this scam, the Uber scam, is the same idea that was proposed by the so-called communist people in the communist country. You cannot trust your neighbor, you cannot trust your other fellow man, because there is a big mistrust, because they are about to do something bad for you or to you. So that is it. Why people? Well, the reality is that people are very stupid. they don't think for themselves. They're little stupid people, and they wanna submit to something greater, whatever it might be, and that is the modern type of slavery. Mental slavery has nothing to do. Even this has nothing to do with money. It's just a mental slavery where people give their time, and big portion of their time, like imagine, I'll put it in another, you're working with, let's say you're an Uber slave, you work 10 hours and 3 of these hours you work for the king, yeah? Which is a foreign entity backed up by Wall Street money. Yeah, it all goes to the Wall Street, and all goes to the bankers, because the bankers know, they are smart people, they know that slaves are stupid and they're gonna eat up any idea. So any revolutionary idea, likewise, for example, all the Uber drivers in New York City tomorrow decided not to use the app of Lyft and Uber. They just go and use their own brains and they go around the streets and do what the yellow cabs are doing, you know. And that's it. That's the end of it, you know. But they will not do it. They will not do it because they are too afraid and they are too stupid. They have to follow the arrow on the app. It's a digital slavery, yeah? Digital slavery where some artificial intelligence is already maneuvering the livestock, human slaves. Yeah.